But this is a very violent tornado continuing to track north and northeast. But this is a very deadly situation if you're near these. We've seen 10 to 20 buildings get completely destroyed at this point.
And when you went out and you saw all the devastation, it looked like someone had bombed our little town. I mean, that's kind of what it looked like. There was so much gone and so much lost.
So on that fateful day of June 16, 2014, I was the evening meteorologist at KHAS TV in Hastings, Nebraska. We served central Nebraska, south central Nebraska, all the way up to just short of Pilger. So when the tornado watch came out, when the first storm actually formed and became tornado warmed, it was just outside the viewing area. So I didn't expect to cover the tornadoes, especially live, wall to wall. But having Ben McMillan stream that live stream, The Ground Truth, we had evidence that there was a tornado, eventually two tornadoes on the ground causing damage. And as it turned out, it was a good decision because we had people here in my viewing area that knew people in Pilger, that had family in Pilger that were concerned and were able to keep in touch with what was going on.
We're probably about 2 miles, 3 miles to the west. The storm's moving northeast, so we are again in a safe position, but this is a very violent tornado continuing to track north and northeast near the town of Wisner, Nebraska.
We were broadcasting to numerous news outlets about the position of the tornado, the size of the tornado, where it was going, and when it was going there. And after you put your best foot forward in the job that you've been hired to do, all you can do is sit there and hope that people got the word out to their loved ones in the path of this, because once that tornado starts to strike homes, you feel helpless.
Well, the first thing I thought about when I saw Ben's video, and of course we only had the one tornado, and at the time we weren't quite certain where the tornado was, whether it was around Pilger or if it was around Wisner or up closer to Wayne. You know, we knew where obviously the storm was relative to radar, but we weren't getting completely accurate reports at the time. But Ben's video helped us place because we saw the Pilger water towers. That tornado came out of town, and I thought to myself, you know, in 15 years of broadcasting, this is the first time I've ever witnessed on live TV while I was broadcasting a tornado damage a town.
We're behind these tornadoes, so we're in a safe position. They're moving away from us, but this is a very deadly situation if you're near these. We've seen 10 to 20 buildings get completely destroyed at this point.
It was almost surreal. You see a lot of weather in 16 years of doing this, and to have that particular event happen in front of you is something that I never thought I'd see in my lifetime.
And the devastation was incredible, especially as I came into town and drove through town where I could drive. And you know, it was emotional because here, just about a week later, I saw this tornado. I saw the tornadoes live through Ben's stream. I saw the radar. We knew what had happened, but until I got here and saw and witnessed the damage firsthand, I had no clue.
Well, you're locked in on the tornado's position. You're looking at it on mapping, you're looking at it visually, you're tracking every mile exactly where it goes. So sometimes you're caught up in the logistics of trying to get the warning out and get the word out to the people in the path of it that you don't necessarily notice structures right away. In this situation, as we were coming up from the northwest side of Pilger on US Highway 275, it took me a minute to realize there was a somewhat decent-sized community directly in the path of this. And after the initial shock subsided, I just was heartbroken to see so many homes, so many structures in the path of what I knew was a very violent and damaging tornado.
When I got to Pilger for the first time, I had no idea the wonderful people that I would meet over the next couple years, the relationships I would establish, and I would actually grow as a person, as a meteorologist, as a human being, by listening to these stories, creating these friendships and establishing the friendships. And here we are 2 years later, and I honestly feel like Pilger is my second home.